Would you ever give an 18-year-old a $100,000 plus loan? Most people wouldn't. So why do they do it for college? My name's Eric. This is above my pay grade. Let's get into it. Sorry for the sunglasses. It's either squinting or I look like this cool guy right here. But college loans, right? A lot of us have friends or family that are in debt from going to school. And if you ask them, a lot of them regret it. Okay? So, ask you, let's say you're 18 years old, think back to that time, and you walked into a Ferrari dealership. You said, hey, I would like to buy a Ferrari. Can I get $100,000 to $200,000 loan? And the guy looks at you kind of cross-eyed, like, let's check your credit. Doesn't exist. Let's check your work history. Doesn't exist. So they would look at you and say, no, you can't. But if you do the same thing at a college, as in you go to a school and they say, yeah, I mean, you can attend here for sure. It's $25,000 a year. That loan you can get no problem. Why is that? Well, the government came in and wanted to help. You'll notice a through line with most of my videos. When the government comes in and wants to help, they typically make the problem worse, like they did with the housing crash by making or allowing banks to give subprime loans and all this stuff. But another video. But with college, an 18-year-old can go with no collateral, no credit history, no work history, and go to school and sign on to a $100,000 loan. I don't know about you, but when I was 18, $100,000, I could not contemplate what $100,000 meant. I couldn't really contemplate what that debt would be. Most 18-year-olds have pie-in-the-sky ideas of how much they're going to make. So they don't have I would say, the information when they sign their name on that loan, what the consequences are actually going to be. So anyways, government comes in, wants to make college accessible to everyone. So if you're a bank and you give a loan out to this 18-year-old kid for a Ferrari, you're thinking that's a stupid idea. However, banks don't think that way with college loans. Why is that? Because you cannot bankrupt on a college loan. So 18-year-old kid will be saddled with this debt until he dies or he pays it off. So we're looking for solutions to this problem, which I think in the free market, this would never happen because these kids wouldn't be able to get these loans, and therefore the cost of college would lower because the demand would lower. But the government comes in, creates perverse incentives. So they're trying to fix it again. And here's how they're going to fix it. Printer go burr. Big surprise. That's like, every politician's favorite solution to any problem. Now, I think it's a good idea to pay off college debt, just like I think it's a good idea for candy canes to rain down from the sky. There's a lot of great ideas out there, but something that should be bipartisan should be math. If you don't follow up with your assertion, and the Progressive Democrats just slid something on Joe Biden's desk, like an 8-point bulletin saying, hey, you need to executive order King Tut, come in and say we're going to abolish college debt, among other things. But abolishing college debt, it, makes sense. I don't want to pay on my house. Can you abolish that too? But how are we going to pay for it? That is never the follow-up question. It's like, yes, all these things are great ideas. And if that's what it takes to be a politician, to just go in there and say everyone gets free stuff, then why do we pay taxes? Ever ask yourself that? If the government can print money, why do we pay taxes? Because the truth is, there's a consequence to this. There is a tipping point, right? And everyone understands, even subconsciously, that money comes from productivity. If you take away the productivity, then money is useless. Might as well be handing out water or something useless. Water, I guess, isn't useless, but you might as well be handing out gum wrappers if money isn't tied to productivity. So when the government comes and say, "Hey, we're gonna abolish college debt," okay, cool, love the idea. Now, how are we going to pay for it? Just like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare, getting rid of fossil fuels. How are we going to pay for it? And that is never the follow-up question. On top of the fact, if they abolish college debt today, does that mean everyone in the future won't have to pay on college? So that's a bill, right? I don't think they're trying to say, hey, we're going to abolish debt today, and from henceforth you have to pay for college. I think they're saying we're going to abolish college debt, aka make it free. And I put a quote on my video a couple days ago from Thomas Sowell. First rule of economics is scarcity. And the first rule of politicians is to forget about the first rule of economics. Meaning, if college is for everyone, what's the incentive? It doesn't differentiate you. They try to make everything equal and fair, and I think equal opportunity is important, but equal outcome is not going to be the case. Let me know what you guys think about this. It's yet another government spending spree, if it does happen. And for those of us that don't have college debt, how would they compensate us as taxpayers? Maybe take a couple thou off my mortgage, car, or maybe they can make candy canes rain down from the sky. Who knows? So as gas increases in price, there's some new criminals out there. You guys have probably seen or heard of people siphoning gas out of people's gas tanks, but with some of these gas tanks, it's getting harder and harder to break into. So what a lot of criminals are doing, I'll link the story in the description, they're drilling a hole in people's gas tank and draining it that way. Now, metal on metal, sparks, gas, doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but criminals don't need to be intelligent. But as the price of gas goes up, the black market, a price of any commodity really, goes up, and especially if the government tries to control it, the black market comes in, and people start to steal stuff. How they're doing it today is literally drilling a hole in people's gas tank, which is doesn't make a lot of sense to me. On top of the fact that if they drill a hole in your gas tank, you have to replace it $1,000 to $2,000. But this has happened in every society, and I think it's important to be aware of this when it comes to crime and how desperate people can be. Because as things become more expensive, the differentiation between people from the haves and the have-nots gets bigger, and people, more importantly, become desperate. And desperate people do desperate things, like drilling holes in people's gas tank, because they can actually make a decent amount of money off gas because it's so dang expensive, or they can use it. So the same thing will happen with food. It can happen with water. It can happen with a lot of things. And I think it's pretty important to be aware of your surroundings these days, aware that this is an actual possibility, and just be discerning. We say in the military, have situational awareness. Don't just be on your phone all the time like I am on YouTube. Anyways, that'll do it for today. I'm going to go enjoy this beautiful day. If you like this content, please like, share, subscribe, share, whatever. Do the stuff for YouTube. And I will see you in the next video.